I'm doing well. Dwight, I'm sorry to hear about what you were going through with your family this week. And after the game on Monday, your teammates and Doc expressed how much it meant to them that you were able to be out there on the floor with them. Plus, you had your season high performance as a Sixer. So, why was it so important for you to get out there with them on Monday?
Uh, it was very difficult to play. I had found out that morning and just tried to get up and move around, but I couldn't. It really hit me, and just I just tried to get myself ready to play. Um, I didn't know if I could play, but I know my teammates. They needed me, just to be there, you know. So, and I needed them as well. And it meant a lot, that, this team and the coaches and the players and, everyone has been so, loving towards me. And I just want to go out there and play as hard as I could and just let them know that, no matter what, goes on in my life, I always give this team and this organization, all of me. And I just appreciate them so much.
Thank you for sharing that, Dwight, and thank you for even sitting down and doing media today. We really appreciate it. Tobias told us after the game on Monday that he's hoping these next few games can start a winning streak. So if you don't mind shifting gears back into basketball, what's it going to take for you guys to start winning a few and get some momentum going?
Just one game at a time. We had some really tough games on the road. A lot of things that we had to face as players, away from the game. So that kind of, took into effect in a lot of the games we had on the road, whether it be injuries, personal reasons, and stuff like that. But just one game. We just need to win one game, and that's tonight. That's the game we got to focus on. We can't focus on what happened in those last three losses. We played against some real good quality teams, and I think that because of that, we learned some valuable lessons as a team, and I think it's going to carry over until tonight and also for the rest of the season. I don't take those the losses that we had as losses. I see them as learning lessons. We played against three teams that got three different styles of playing. They're very guard orientated, uh, very well coached, very disciplined teams, and I think that is something that we need to see in order for us to be, a championship team. And despite, all the games that we lost on this road trip, there was not a game that we couldn't have won. So it shows how great we can be as a team, um, despite having to face any adversity. So I know when it's playoff time and it's crunch time, I think everybody on the team will be locked in and ready to go.
Thank you so much, Dwight. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Next up, Mark Narducci. Go ahead, Mark.
Dwight, are you able to say who the person was that passed away?
It's
And excuse me?
my dad's mom.
Oh, okay. Um, you had energy right from the beginning. Did you find it cathartic to be out on the court? I mean, in a difficult time like that.
Uh, well, I just try to get my mind off of it for a second. You know, um, despite the fact that my grandma was 97 when she passed away, she lived a very long life. I think that it was just hurting that I didn't get a chance to talk to her before she passed. That was probably the most hurtful part. Is I wanted to at least see her, talk to her one more time before she died. But overall, she lived a long life. So for me, just getting out there on the court, she would have wanted me to play. She watched every game that she could, um, and all I could think about was her. So I was glad that I actually got out there and played. I know the outcome wasn't where I wanted it and where we wanted to be as a team, but I think for me personally, it was a great step because dealing with something like that, usually people would sit down and not play. But you know, I felt like she would want me to go out there and play for her honor. So I was happy that I did that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over to Cassidy Hubbard. Go ahead, Cassidy.
Dwight, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. And just to echo Lauren's statement, appreciate you, sitting down with us today. I did want to ask you a little bigger picture question. Obviously, winning a championship last year in the bubble, being around the chemistry of that team. How would you say the chemistry has been building this season, especially among that trio of Ben
Amazing.
and Tobias?
Amazing. I think our chemistry has been great so far. I think everybody has the same attitude of wanting to win, that mentality. Um, I think we just got to keep growing together, stay humble, and continue to work. You know, we have a long season. We have a lot of guys who I believe really want to win. I think we have the talent. We have the right coaching staff, and we have what it takes to win a championship this season. I just feel like for us to do that, you know, the big three that we have, they have to stay consistent, and we just all got to continue to grow together, continue to stay humble, and you know, I really feel like this is, you know, a great opportunity for this team.
Have there been any lessons that you learned from last year that you've been implementing this year with the guys on the team about like a championship way?
Well, you know, just from playing in the league for 17 years, um, getting to the finals before and losing it, and also getting to the finals and winning, being on teams that have had, you know, pretty good success during the regular season, but not success in the playoffs as far as winning the title. I would just say um, the biggest lesson is don't take any moment for granted. You know, it's kind of like a life lesson. You know, never take any moment, never take any time that you have on the court, any person, anything that you do. Don't take that moment for granted because you'll never be able to get that moment back. And you know, that's kind of the mentality that I just try to provide for my teammates. You know, I know a lot of these guys are super young and they haven't had any experience in this league, but you know, it's hard to make it to the finals. It's hard to make it to the playoffs. It's hard to win in this league. So once you have a chance and you're on a team that can win and be successful, you can't take any breaks because you never know when it can happen again, and it might not happen again. You know, I thought after going to the finals, the time I did in Orlando, that I was going to go back every year because I figured out that I can get to the finals, and it don't work like that. So just want my teammates to just stay in the moment. You know, remember how blessed they are to be able to play this game and play it at a high level.
Next up, Marcus Hayes. Go ahead, Marcus.
Hey Dwight, my condolences for your loss. Just a little housekeeping, if you could. What was your grandmother's name and where did she live?
Her name was Bessie Patrick Howard. She's from she lived in Midville, Georgia, but she resided in Swainsboro, Georgia, very small town. My mom and my dad lived 3 houses down from each other, so both of my grandparents are super close. Our families were always tight knitted. Um, like I said, she was 97 years old. She watched all my games. Her favorite saying was grad day. She used to always say grad day, like, oh, grad day, something like that. But she really enjoyed watching me play. Last time I visited her, last summer before we went to go win the championship, um, I had told her I wanted to bring a trophy back to Swainsboro so I can celebrate with her. We didn't get a chance to, so hopefully this year, we'll be able to do that.
Can you spell her first name for us?
Gussie, Gussie.
I see. My parents grew up a mile from each other in North Carolina, so I know how those connections can be. How much, I guess, were you around her when you were growing up? I mean, did she, did you see her after school? Were you?
Well, they live a couple hours outside of Atlanta, so we would go down there during the summer. And actually, I grew up playing basketball right outside of her house. My neighbor, well, her neighbor had put a basketball goal on a tree
Hmm.
that was right outside in front of her house, and go to her house and we would play basketball, and she would just watch us all day. Um, so I remember that. I remember, you know, her telling me that she was so proud of me and happy for me, and to see me play basketball. And she's watched me my whole career. She has almost every picture in her room of, me growing up, and that's everyone was just telling me how much, she loved me and how much I meant to her. So um, I'm very thankful that she loved me so much, um, despite having tons and tons of grandkids. Um, she really took her time out with me.
Now, I've seen you play since you got into the league, and I was just wondering. Well, first, did you ever tear that rim off the tree when you were learning to dunk? And number two, I mean, did she come out with like snacks? And if so, did she ever come out with refreshments? Because that's what grandmas tend to do.
I did. I broke the goal at the house, so that's why they had to put it on a tree. It was a little bit more firm and stable. So that's why they put the basketball goal on the tree. And she did. I got my candy addiction, from my grandma and my granddad. They would always bring me and my brother big buckets of candy every time we came out there. So while we were playing basketball, I would go grab some candy and go back outside and play basketball all day. And she'll be the one that'll give me the candy. So um, I won't forget that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, we have time for one more. Let's go to Austin Krell. Go ahead, Austin.
Hey, Dwight. So first, I want to offer my condolences for your loss as someone who has also, lost a grandparent without any kind of opportunity to say goodbye. I know it's painful and tough, but you've had your best moments with this team when your role has been simplified. Do you feel like, you're able to function at a higher level when sort of the job is more simple on the court?
Well, I don't think my role has ever been, changed from any team. It's just really go out there and just be Dwight, dominate on both ends of the floor. I think. I'm sorry. Thank you for your condolences and everything. I appreciate that. But my role has always been to just go out there and dominate and affect the game on both ends of the floor, whether that be um, block shots, rebounds, scoring in the low post, getting offensive rebounds, just doing whatever it takes to win. Um, I think last game I just kind of zoned out, and that's why I was able to be as I guess effective, as I was. And it's a very long season. I want to make sure that by the time we get to the playoffs, I'm in better shape than I am now, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Um, but whatever coach needs me to do, whatever this team needs me to do, I'm willing to do it. Again, I appreciate every single person in this organization. This has been, a crazy time, and just to see the love and support, from everyone here, it means a lot. And I don't take that stuff for granted. I've been around the league for a long time. I've been on a lot of teams, um, and the love and support that I've gotten from everyone here, she makes me want to play harder. Makes me want to jump through even more walls, do whatever I can to help this team win. And so I'm very appreciative and thankful and grateful to the Most High for just blessing me with this opportunity to play with the 76ers. And I want to continue to give all I can, not only for myself and my family and my grandma, but for this team. you know we all deserve it, and they deserve it. So thank you guys again, and I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Dwight.
All right.